He's been lifting at Club Line.
Okay, there.
I figured you'd have some kind of reaction like that.
Yeah, they're okay. All right, fully candid.
More centered?
No, because what we're going to do is I'm going to screen record my iPad and then stick it right in the center.
Oh, lovely.
And then I can show you our program for the next 3 weeks that I've written up. I'm missing a day, so maybe we can live program a workout. So, but a lot of people ask me after the video we published, I published with me and Brett talking about the programming, a couple of people said, oh, that was really interesting. How do you do the rest of it? And my thoughts is that I'll explain it to you.
Okay.
And then everyone will know at the same time. So, autumn 2025 program. I wonder if I can like draw at the same time. Pink, orange. If you know, you know. So
that's not orange.
The way we say orange. The way I usually set up how I program is that I'll take the goal of the season. So autumn's goal is more GPP stuff, so a bit less barbell specific, a bit less CrossFit specific, if you will, a bit more like general fitness, a lot of sleds, a lot of like dumbbells, sandbags, things that are a bit more odd, if you will, than rather than formal, things like that. Lots of unilateral work, so a lot of single arm, single leg movements, and heaps of posterior chain, because the back half of us can never be strong enough. Cool. So then what I do is I like write down my goals and then I kind of add in as I go. So the workouts we will always repeat will be this one here. These are in our on-ramp. These ones, the Fran, Diane, Fight Combat, and DT. So anyone who does the on-ramp, we're going to catch those as we go. And then obviously we have our test week as well. Then I'll always put in this space any repeating workouts that we're going to do. So for example, the weightlifting ones over here. The 18-minute EMOMs, which we played around with. So that's this Wednesday, and then the following Thursday and the following Wednesday again. I want to try and get in like 50 strict pull-ups a week. And then as I've sort of done all that, I want like, you can see I put in like notes after the fact. So I've got like a little vest a week. You know, I've got the syntax of the strength days up here. And then how we want to progress that. So it's a lot of just like dump ideas under the page and just make sure that it's all clear about what I want and how I like constrain the program so I just don't have everything to deal with all at once. If that makes sense, because we're trying to train for everything, which means we're training for nothing, which how do then we train? There's no specific goal. So you have to set a line in the sand and then aim for it.
Okay.
And that's kind of how I do it.
Sure.
Then I set up the weekly schedule that'll kind of mix that up. If I change the color real quick. So everything's in 2-day pairs. So every 2 days you'll have the strength, a skill strength or a strength pair. So even if you train like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because they alternate backwards and forwards, if you miss some one week, you'll catch it the next week. That makes sense. So you'll still get over the course of a period, like 6 or 12 weeks, you'll still get the same ratio of training versus, but obviously a different volume because we're only training 3 days a week. That makes sense. And then I put my core work that we were going to attack for the season in here. And then I put in what the syntax of the week should be. So each week we'll have 2 dedicated strength days. We'll have a speed strength day, which basically just means weightlifting. We're throwing in a hero workout. We'll do a long workout. We'll do an interval workout as well. So that's like our week. And so now that I have all that in there, then I can go forward and design the week as I need to. So if I like delete this, oops, I have to press it over and over again. I'll quickly just edit this out. So then what I do, well, actually any questions? Ask me questions so far. For the people, you are the representation of the people.
Okay. Give the people 10 seconds to think.
They can pause the video.
The people. Or the people, me. What does this say for the core?
So So the core one, we did that one yesterday. It's 3 sets of 15, 4 different exercises, but you only pick one, and we'll do it twice a week. So over the course of 2 weeks, you'll get all 4 of them done.
Okay,
Once you've done all 4 of them, then the next time you do that next set, you'll do 20 reps instead of 15.
Okay.
And then you build up. So over the course of the 12 weeks, if you did all of them, you'd end up on 3 sets of 40, which would be a lot, but then you would have done 24 core sessions anyway. So
Got you.
yeah. So and again, it's just like something small that we can add in on a class to help progress things, to see like along the way that you're getting better, versus having to wait 3 months before you retest anything. You know, we like to sprinkle in little bits and pieces, just like small progressions along the way.
Awesome.
Right? That's that one. So then what I do, so this program, since base 12 is superior to base 10 in my opinion, I've got 3 weeks at a time, because that works off the 3 Ollie progressions we're looking at. Okay, so each one's going to be 1 week. And so the blocks hang around in 3-week blocks. So it's kind of 12 weeks broken up down into 4 3-week blocks. You can see I put colors in, but I didn't do that initially. I just did that to visually represent the last thing. So we've got everything's a Monday, Tuesday pair. So it'll be strength or one of the other ones. So strength long, strength interval, or strength hero. So we got interval strength, we've got speed strength and long, and then we have, maybe I should just highlight it. So interval strength, speed strength long, and then strength and hero workout. Now the way I would program this is, because I know there are certain ones that I know have to be put in first, because they're the things we're going to look after. So I put in that one first, and then I'll put in the hero workout first, because that will then, they're the ones that are the non-negotiables, because we're going to do those. And there's only certain ones it can be, because I'm following a program along with Operation Tribute. Check out my YouTube channel.
Those are workouts that you're going to substitute back in later on to test progress?
Exactly.
Okay. Could I get a tissue real quick?
100%. Yeah. So I'll put in the known variables first, so that's the sequence, and then I put in the known workouts first. And then generally I'll always put in the strength stuff next. So knowing what I know with these pieces, we've got a horizontal press and some unilateral work. But considering tomorrow's overhead, it's going to be a lot lighter anyway, so it's skill. So that still works out okay. Then we don't have any squatting in like the strength stuff, so then I put in some lunges and squats in this position. Again, keeping with the same theme, if we want to keep it a little less barbell orientated, a little more grunt work type stuff. And that way then I only have 2 workouts that I can fill in the gaps for. And so this one and this one, I'm like, all right, on Monday, we may as well round out the pressing circle with like vertical pressing or downwards pressing with the burpee. And then we have power cleans in there. I thought were pretty good mix between what we're doing and all these stuff, because there wasn't much hinging going on. And we want that posterior chain. So we got yesterday's workout, which if I just quickly undo that, what color do I do? Intervals, pink. So interval pink. And then the last 2 parts of the week, so you can see how it can kind of come together pretty quick, is that we have a long day and just a sprint EMOM here, or sprint dumbbell workout here, because I want to put the sprint dumbbell workout on the same day as the Ollie day.
Because?
Because that's the time where you can mix modes in strength and conditioning, because our mode is the skill of the weightlifting doesn't keep the load really high, so it's got high recoverability. So we're basically just learning how to be strong here, as opposed to training being strong on a strength day. So the recoverability of something to do like after a short workout is a lot different, because if this was like pressing, like overhead pressing or bench pressing or something like that, then you wouldn't be able to hit the maximum volume. But because most people are limited by their skill on Ollie movements, then they're not going to be limited by fatigue, because the skill is the limiting factor.
Yeah.
So we can learn the skill. And why a dumbbell sprint one? Just because. It's just something to
It's
keep
fun.
it's fun, it's short, it keeps the barbell out of things, so that, again, recoverability becomes high, lower axial loading. So we did, for this Wednesday, see if we can get it out, it'll probably be released today, but we got thrusters, because we haven't done any squatting, and some ergs, to keep it simple, and just like a nice simple thruster erg combination here. And then for the long workout, which is green, not that I always do the long workout last, but it kind of gives me, I can take what I haven't done through the week and work on that. Cool. So far there hasn't been a lot of like pull-ups, for example. So I'm like, all right, I want a pulling movement. I ended up on pullovers because they were fun, and I wanted you to have something hard to coach on Thursday. We haven't done a lot of lunges, so I wanted to, even though there's lunges the next day, they're like heavier, so I just wanted to start to introduce some of that pattern, because then we can also double down on the Friday of like doing recoverability in that position. And then we haven't done any running, so I thought I'd just throw in some. So I sort of thrown some running. And on that day, possibly we could have time for core work, although we did the class brief before and we didn't really have too much.
So and each of these core work is going to be the pick an exercise and do it?
That's right.
Awesome.
So this core work here, now that we've done a lesson plan, might be have to, hey guys, once you finish the workout, start doing that. Mm-hmm. Like take a minute off and then just start doing the core work. This is why we have to plan ahead. But if somebody finishes it and the class is over or they get time capped out, it's a bit like, if you got 5 minutes, do the core work. If you don't stress, we're going to catch it next week anyway. Mm-hmm. So don't stress about core work, but if it's there, it's there. So that's that week.
Do you have a goal set for how often they should complete the core work?
It's 2 times a week I've got it in.
It should be twice, so if they miss it, they can move it to another workout, essentially.
Yeah,
awesome. How do you sort or balance different muscle groups? Like, do you plan like,
I usually do it in
always going to hit
patterns.
them like once kind of thing throughout the week?
Yeah, generally I'll try and do like a heavy squat, like a heavy upper, heavy lower body movement each week. And then I'll try and throw in the opposite. So let's say we're doing, so the following week, right, we have front squats here. So then like in the workouts, for example, so the following Thursday, then I want to try and do, I've got like dumbbell box step-ups in here. So I'm kind of like balancing the patterns. So I'll always program the strength first because that takes the highest takes the highest recovery from. And then I'll throw in the, like the workouts will fill the gaps of what we miss in the strength and the other parts.
Sure.
Does that make sense? So yeah, that's generally how I do the big stuff first. So I put in the stuff that's going to take the most amount of recovery first. And then I look at the week and go like, all right, this is the stuff that we haven't done any ABC. Like this pattern hasn't been trained or this pattern hasn't been trained. I want to make sure we get into that. Usually I train patterns versus muscles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll do so what that means for anyone who's listening, it's like, I'm not going to train, I don't think of glutes as a thing that I train. I think of hinging patterns as a thing I train. Because if I'm doing like deadlifts and power cleans and power snatches and sled pushes and box step ups, they're all glutes and they're all the same pattern. So that I can just look at a pattern and not have to worry about the movement specifically and what it hits.
Yeah, definitely.
That makes sense.
Awesome.
It actually comes in a lot more when you're looking at like overhead. You got to be careful of how much overhead we do. Because overheading is like, that takes a lot of recoverability. Like there's a lot going on there and most people have not perfect positions in that shape. So then our last little part, now that we got like 3 minutes to class, on the final week, we have a workout I haven't programmed. And so, we need to put in our core work. So if I just quickly put in core. So we have chest to bars, heavy deadlifts, handstand push-ups on Monday. Tuesday we have a strongman strength medley, so farmers carries and sandbag carries. Now I don't mind the farmers carries after the deadlift because the range is way shorter, so it's not too bad, but we're gonna have to back off a lot of the axial loading after that because the recoverability is gonna be high. Then Wednesday, the sprint workout is double unders plus dumbbell overhead squat. So dumbbell overhead squat, very, very hard movement. So the weight's going to be really low. It's basically just an air squat with your arms above your head for most people. We've got our hang snatches in that one too. Again, the snatches are like a light ollie lift, if you will, because it's such a hard position. So again, it lowers the axial loading. Then Thursday, I programmed this after the efforts I saw on Monday, yesterday. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2 minutes on, 15 off of thrusters, chest to bars. Again, it's going to be a lighter bar because we went very heavy at the start of the week. So we want to keep blood flow, keep movement high, but weight down, so loading down. And then core work. And then I don't have the long workout, which we can program in a sec. And then strength on a Saturday. If we ever do strength on a Saturday, we go lots of strength on a Saturday. So we're going bench, back squat, bench press, supersets, because it's been 4 days since we did anything heavy anyway. And then we have dumbbell front rack lunges and ring muscle ups as our EMOM as well. So cranking the skill up on the Saturday because it's going to be a bigger class should be a bit of fun. Now with that being known, what do you think the Thursday long workout should be?
And so like this green one is an example of a long workout?
That's right, yeah. So that green one's, that's like 4 rounds, 600 run, 20 pull-ups, 20 kettlebell swings. And that's the Thursday's the long one.
So basically the long one you're always going to include running? Likely?
Yeah, I mean that is running, but if we look at this week, like we haven't done any ergs at all. So it might be a long row, for example.
Have we done running this week?
We haven't done running either. But why not both? Why don't we run and row?
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. I mean, you got good handwriting? So usually I'll just ballpark. So I'll just put run in there.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll just start off with like run.
I was going to throw a number out there.
Yeah, and then I'll put like row, and I'll just put in the thing. So I just start like thinking on the page. I mean, why don't we put one? We could put all 3 ergs in: run, row, ski.
I was going to say, because oftentimes we don't see the ski erg that much.
100%. And the good thing about this now is that if we're thinking logistics in a class, we could have a workout that you could just separate in different sections, and then we could all be in different spots but working out at the same time.
Okay.
So something where, and like, is there any other movements that you can see that, or any other patterns that we're not really, or that you want to have a play with? Obviously, I wrote the program, so I'm just giving it from an external perspective. Class starts in 2 minutes, by the way.
Well, this might be more of a skill. For the long days, do you focus more on like strength and like endurance rather than skills?
No, I mean, we've got pullovers on Thursday.
That's fair.
Yeah. We just have to make sure it works within a class. I can't read that.
Handstands.
Love it. Walking.
If you can.
But do you know what I love here? This gives me an idea as I'm thinking. Why not we have a progressively difficult handstand drill?
Yeah.
So perhaps it's like 1 erg into max handstand hold. So let's say it's like a 10-minute. Let's say we got 3 on the 10 minutes, right? And so, hey Mel. And so on the 0, we do like a 2K run into max handstand hold. And then on the 10, we do like a 2K row into a max handstand push-ups. And then on the 20, we do 2K ski into max handstand walking.
Yeah.
And then we can have a bit of skill in there, and we have that long conditioning piece that you can attack as well at the same time.
Yeah.
And since a lot of that is relatively simple to coach, we could do a nice simple warm-up and then spend like 15 minutes practicing that handstand drills and have a bit of fun with it.
Yeah.
And then voila, look at that, we've made a
I
workout.
think that's fun to do. Awesome.
Perfect.
Yeah.
See? And that's how we program workouts. That's how I program workouts anyway. I hope I didn't hog too much of the conversation. The class starts in 45 seconds. Thank you, Liv. I'll tidy all this up. You give me the microphone.